She-Hulk episode 8 spoiler review. Daredevil is finally here, but that ended by 3C Films. Shout out 3C, nigga. Once again, shout out 3C. I can't say it enough. Shout out 3C. Shout out 3C. I love me some 3C. It always make my day happy watching some 3C. But She-Hulk episode 8, I just finished that shit like a couple hours ago during the morning. It was good. I gotta say, it was the best episode yet. Like, I haven't even seen Daredevil, and once that came on screen, it just made my day more happier. And then everything that happened upon it.
Morning.
This was the best episode we got yet. I really like the show. Like, I can't lie. It's okay. Like during the whole it's okay. It's okay. But this episode, woo, tell y'all, recommend. We finally got some action and shit, like the comedy and shit, and all of that shit was over with. Well, I mean, we still got some with Daredevil. Yeah, see, Daredevil was funny as shit. I like this whole shit.
How did we end up here, my Marvel fans?
Man,
I
talk
am
to
in
me
utter
about
shock
it.
right
Talk
now.
to me about
Tony
it.
Stark got kidnapped and built an Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps, and decades later,
Man, that was crazy too.
She-Hulk
Shout out
sex
Iron
tape
Man.
is leaked.
Shit, I wish.
She-Hulk episode 8 has been released, and this is finally the Daredevil episode a lot of people have been looking forward to. And
man, I'm telling you,
I think it was worth the wait, y'all. That was a fantastic freaking episode. Like, this whole time, everything from 7 to 1, I was saying, I like it. It's decent. It's watchable.
Yeah,
but
that's
this
what exactly.
was a gold standard. This
Thank
was like
you.
The first
You
episode of
get.
the entire season.
We
I was
thinking
like,
alike.
I don't want it to end. I don't want this episode to end.
I'm saying.
Keep going. Even after Daredevil left, I still wanted more stuff.
And we did a little
guys,
bit.
Thank freaking goodness. Even though it looks like next episode.
I mean,
they're
not a
gonna
little
do
bit,
the
because
thing
she
I've
said
been
some
fearing,
shit.
which
Hey.
is not revealed.
Woo,
The big
can't wait.
bad guy, the twist, the motive, jam pack that all into one episode. This episode right here brought
They did their thing. They did their thing.
There's so many things to love about this thing. So we're definitely gonna dive into this. This is gonna be
Please
my spoiler
do.
review, giving you my full breakdown,
Also,
pointing out some Easter
yeah.
eggs you might have missed. But I want to hear from you, Daredevil fans, especially.
I haven't seen it. I'm
Did
gonna
this
watch it
episode
now,
work
like
for you? I think even if you
100%,
take
no
out the
doubt.
Daredevil stuff, it goes
'Cause
back to being one of the decent episodes that we have gotten all throughout the season.
That's true.
But I'm not gonna deny it, man. Daredevil in here
He
and
did
what Charlie
his
Cox
thing.
brings to that role, it just elevated everything.
I'm telling
and
you,
was
I don't
grinning
even be
ear to
eking
ear.
the like
Episode
what,
eight
like
of
I'm
She-Hulk
war, like
character
it was
that
just
I've
good.
always
It was
been
good.
curious to see from the trailers, and that is Leapfrog. He's just a wannabe superhero trying to stop these thugs from stealing a TV, and in the process,
They start
of trying
kicking
to
that
stop
nigga
him,
out.
his suit malfunctions, bringing us to Jennifer Walters' office.
Oh,
And I'm gonna
ain't
pause
shit.
you right there and say, that is what every episode needed to be, okay? I don't mind the episodes where it's just Jennifer Walters focusing in on her story and growing that character development. That's great. But this is episode 8, and we're finally getting an interesting superhero lawyer case. I know it's an outdated formula, but I was really hoping this show was going to be more like Law and Order. Because the beginning of this gave me vibes of what you would see in those episodes, where it's just like some random stranger walking in Central Park, and there's a dead body there, and thus we begin the case. This is the vibe I got here. We start off with a crime happening. There's the client, and then we get the context of the case, which is him wanting to sue the manufacturer of his suit, which happens to be the same person.
I fuck with him. That nigga is funny. That's like the only other reason I watched it, because of that nigga.
But I feel like the CG got really improved.
No, I'm just playing. It was She-Hulk is good. I'm gonna give it his credit. She-Hulk is good.
It doesn't look as smooth and blurry as it has on earlier episodes. Like, I can actually see some detail increases that this doesn't look sort of like an uncanny valley face. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like the VFX here were improved than what we've seen in other episodes. Here, though, the boss mentions that, well, Leapfrog's father is a very wealthy and important client, so she needs to help him out, whether it's a conflict of interest or not.
Daddy got money.
Suits made by the same tailor. This was a small Easter egg in there because in the comics, Leapfrog also does have a dad. It was Leapfrog that was actually the father and a supervillain, and then Frogman was the son trying to be a wannabe superhero. But moving us forward into the court case, since it was established a couple episodes ago that this tailor actually works with Daredevil having his helmet, it made sense that when he's being sued, he would call the only lawyer he knows, giving us a great introduction to Matt Murdock. And I just got such a joy from seeing Charlie Cox
Thank
pop
you.
up in
See,
here.
I thought it was just me. Like, it literally,
the
like,
writers of this show,
I don't know. I just knew it was gonna be good, and I haven't even seen Daredevil.
A little bit about what it's like being a lawyer, because the jargon that goes on between Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock arguing about this case,
it was clean.
It actually sounds pretty legit.
Exactly.
It doesn't at all sound made up or stretched to the truth like a lot of the cases that were happening early on in the season. Like, this actually felt grounded. And that might just be with the demeanor Charlie Cox has, because he has nailed this role as Matt Murdock, and the way he's just telling his words and countering Jennifer Walters. They didn't nerf the guy. Everyone thinks that the She-Hulk show hates men and that they're trying to push this agenda that women rule and men suck. When really, if you've been paying attention to the show, you see that's not happening.
Exactly.
There's good men and there's some bad men. Just like with everything. And here, just because the show is called She-Hulk, they're not going to make Matt Murdock look like a bad lawyer, and he actually beats Jennifer. I even like the little moment when Matt Murdock says, "Oh, he's lying. Don't ask me how I know." I know some people were really afraid they were going to turn him into a complete buffoon and just have him joking every second.
I didn't even know it was going to be in this episode.
Small joke that
I thought it was going to be the next one.
Felt very much in line with his character. He's a charismatic guy. He's a cocky guy. This fits perfectly fine with him. And they even expanded on the MCU, because in here they say that the Sokovia Accords have been repealed, meaning people don't have to give up their secret identity to be superheroes. That's really awesome for them to mention in here. Also, and I think even the biggest She-Hulk haters are going to agree with me on this, Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock, they genuinely have chemistry on screen.
I can see that. They was killing it.
Actual admiration.
I'm saying
these two characters when they were flirting with
like, I finally felt good that she finally at least got a good, decent nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. They both got some shit to relate to.
I was afraid it was going to feel very forced. That shit was going to push on this relationship between them.
10 out of 10.
It was working, and I wanted to see them together.
Exactly.
But after that bar interaction between Jennifer and Matt, we see her go meet one of her clients, Todd, that has a very interesting case for Jennifer Walters to handle. And this is, again, some of the stuff I meant that is actually interesting, brings up a unique perspective, and would be a cool lawyer case for Jennifer Walters to actually handle. Like, it's nice to see Jennifer actually be a lawyer.
I paid $1 million for it. Did you hear me? $1 million.
Right here,
that nigga was stupid, bro.
A Wakandan sphere for $1 million. And the people of Wakanda want that
this scene was funny.
Todd is arguing, well, he paid for it in an
because that nigga like Wakanda forever, and shit. I feel a little uncomfortable with you saying that.
And then pulls the MCU version of, "I have black friends, I support them.
I love Wakanda."
Yeah, see, this was
studied abroad there. Wakanda forever.
Ooh, that makes me uncomfortable.
And I know some people don't find She-Hulk funny, but when
that
she
was
said that
I laughed.
I laughed so hard in my living room.
She-Hulk
then leaving that
good.
situation because it's just not going anywhere. Getting a call from her client Leapfrog that he's being attacked and that he needs She-Hulk's help, where she finally decides to put on her super suit. And look, this clip first released online earlier today, and I was kind of pissed that they released it, because I'm like, that better not have been the full fight between She-Hulk and Daredevil.
I ain't see it though, thankfully.
That ahead of time, but thank goodness it wasn't.
Man, when I seen this shit,
it went on for so much longer, and I really loved every second of it. Because the clip did release online a little early, the internet had a chance to voice their complaints, so I could at least mention what the internet was talking about. And one of the things they were saying is they thought it looked really goofy how much CGI Daredevil was using. In this situation, Daredevil versus She-Hulk, we know She-Hulk isn't an actual thing. Speaking in movie terms, she's just a CGI being. So Charlie Cox is probably on set staring at a ping pong ball
exactly
or just a
with the blue.
Of Jennifer
We've seen this. She out on the blue shit and
expected there to be a practical with the
ping pong balls
fighting against the air, and then visual effects artists would add in She-Hulk, and that would look good. No, you have She-Hulk, who's a CGI character, so Daredevil's gonna look a little CGI when fighting her, and it looked good to me. Some people said it reminded them of Ben Affleck's Daredevil. You know what? I don't think that's a bad thing. I didn't mind the CGI back in the Daredevil Ben Affleck days. The boy is
that's the one I fucked with.
He moves from building to
that
building.
Nigga go crazy.
In his name, he is
Ultimate
Daredevil,
Alliance.
the man
played as Daredevil.
He's gonna be doing superhero stuff. She-Hulk also was in here doing a great job, punching the ground, splitting it open. I also think the joke that Daredevil threw in there about "my ass remains unwhooped" was pretty cute. I don't think it's anywhere near the level of some really bad MCU jokes that we've got.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but the fight continued on from there.
Each little part was good. Like it was nothing. I can't say nothing bad about this episode.
The way they ended it, they established early on that She-Hulk has this clap power that we all know that would overload the senses of Daredevil enough for She-Hulk to take off his mask. Like, that's actual comic book.
Yeah, that's common sense. That makes sense.
I did find it hilarious though when Jennifer Walters was like accusing him of like, "Are you pretending to be blind?" Because that's actually problematic. Like the humor in here was
Yo, that was, see, it was all funny, bro.
Every other episode I'd laugh like maybe 2 or 3 jokes. Here I'm laughing quite a lot. It's also great to see Matt Murdock finally call himself Daredevil. Too much. She even addresses the color change in suit
because it's rare in this episode. Well, not rare, but
suit, they're gonna change it for his show. This is just what Marvel does. They like at least putting them.
Yeah, it's still decent though. Yeah, it's still decent.
And I didn't mind it. It worked.
Yeah,
for this
it was
episode.
good.
But okay, now that Daredevil and She-Hulk are on the same page, they can team up to go rescue the tailor that Leapfrog is kidnapped to repair his suit. I'm loving how the writers are also taking advantage of Daredevil's powers while still not doing too much, so that the people who write Born Again can do a lot more. Like I didn't know if they were going to show us his sonar vision, but they didn't. But still mentioned that he can hear all the heartbeats of the goons, and even this little speech of Daredevil mentioning the difference between a goon and a henchman, that is so Daredevil. But you know what else was so Daredevil? A freaking hallway fight, just like in the Netflix series. And the boys are badass. For my people that were complaining that they were using a CGI Daredevil when he's fighting,
then my nigga jumped off the wall on them niggas.
Practice choreography. He ain't gonna be CGI, but he's still gonna look like
he was beating these niggas with
Everything about this hallway fight just kind of reassured me that the MCU is gonna handle his solo show really well. There was definitely still better hallway fights in the Netflix show.
That shit was fucking clean, bro.
One. And even as someone who likes She-Hulk the character, I was kind of pissed when she ruined Daredevil's moment, and we didn't.
I knew this was going. I was literally saying that she's gonna come from the top
get to see him
because before I'm sorry. Oh, it's almost over too. Because before when it was on top of the roof and shit, y'all probably already seen it. Of course, if y'all watching it, you know, of course seen it. But they was like, Daredevil was like, oh yeah, you don't even do this type of shit. Anyways, we gone. You know what I'm saying? You can't even say that. You don't even got your own shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they just went down there. And I was like, she gonna come back from the down and then say some shit. And she did. She was like, She-Hulk smash. Like, what? That was funny. That's what I'm saying. It was all good, bro.
Walters even rebuttals and says he's so brooding, which is what people just want him to be. Like, he's another Batman. Then they did the thing I didn't think the MCU was gonna do. They went Daredevil and She-Hulk sleep together.
She said, fuck that. He's like, maybe I can take you out to dinner sometimes. She said, and then She-Hulk's like, you know, we could just skip that. Come on. Like, what? I'm like, okay. She said, fuck all that.
Is exactly what she needed. Now, with all that said, I do think they took it a bit too far when they had Daredevil.
That was funny too. During it, I was like, it's okay. It's okay.
Walk of shame. But just
ain't no wrong thing. You ain't got no ride. You ain't got no bike or nothing. It happened. It's okay.
With his suit, shoes off. That's where I'm like, okay, that's
and then his lady came, and then a girl came in and was like, I just seen a man with a devil mask on walking down the street.
And I honestly thought that was going to be the end of this episode. I didn't think we were going to continue on. But then when Jennifer Walters breaks the fourth wall and is mentioning, oh, we're not over.
This whole scene was clean.
Gotta be teasing the big finale.
Talk to me. This is what I've been waiting for right here.
Options: a Hulk that's red that shows up in reference to Thunderbolt Ross. That is rumored to be showing up in the Thunderbolts movie. I doubt it's going to be him, but a nice little Easter egg and nod to him. And then she mentions another phrase saying, or am I going to be fridged? Now, for comic book fans that are familiar with this term, fridging is something that was coined whenever a Green Lantern comic introduced a love interest just so that she can be stuffed dead in the fridge. Essentially, the term fridging means when you introduce a character and their only purpose is to die or be development for another character. And typically in comic books, it is a female that gets
I guess we're getting a Hulk then, shit. I mean, I guess we're getting a real Hulk then, shit.
For our superheroes. And well, I thought the ending of last week's episode was
holding it down.
She-Hulk photographed while she was naked and unconscious in bed after a man had just weaseled into her life. Oh, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't. And I can't believe the MCU did this. This intelligentsia group that is after She-Hulk and is basically representing all the man babies who can't handle a show that is just average.
Oh yeah, this was crazy too.
She stole the Hulk's
powers. That nigga bum bitch.
To attack her, and that
nigga was in the crowd too. That nigga weirdo.
Bro, they did that. Disney Plus.
How did they even get that?
It was also even interesting to see.
I seen that too. Like, nigga, ain't this Disney Plus? That's like the most they even shown ever.
Something in her. In fact, her raging out like this and having that sort of
this where I was like, this the turn we was waiting on. I'm like,
more than we've seen it come out of Bruce Banner lately. That was frightening to look at. This was a great cliffhanger.
I'm like, this gonna be a turn. This gonna be a turn.
Even though it has all the warning signs that it's gonna disappoint me, just like every other Disney Plus finale that waits till the last episode to reveal and wrap up everything. why. At the end of the day, though, this was a freaking amazing
man,
episode.
that's what I'm saying. I can't say it wasn't good, though.
So far has just been decent. It's been average.
3C.
And this episode
I'm sorry, I've been
was
talking through your whole
everything I
shit, so I'm
just
sorry.
wish
I was just so
every
excited.
episode was like that for She-Hulk, but it wasn't. I throw it off to you guys. Do you think the finale is going to satisfy us? What did you think about this?
Honestly, I don't know.
Aside, did you
I'm
like
just
it?
let them
Be
do what
really
they
curious to
do.
hear from you guys. Don't be forgetting
And
to hit
then
that
we
like button,
just go have to
subscribe if you
wait and
haven't already.
see.
Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.
All right, Chris. All right, shout out to you, 3C Films. Like I said, anytime I watch one of your videos, it always just boosts my day. So I'm glad to watch and react to this, man. Thank you, 3C. Link to your channel will be in the description down below. Y'all already know this shit. Come on, how many times I gotta say this shit over and over and over and over? Go subscribe to this shit. Go subscribe to my shit. Link and all this shit's gonna be down below. Subscribe to everything. Go to the TikTok, YT, anything. Your mama, your booty, your
日々に